Hello everybody, my name is Ace. Today I'm going to show you me doing the Downing the Slavers Part 2 mission in a Barghest, and in general just me doing L4 missions in a Barghest. So the reason actually I bought this ship is because it was actually seemed like a somewhat good upgrade from the Rattlesnake and the Paladin. So this will maybe be seen a bit strange, like, oh, what the heck, why are you using a Barghest for L4 missions? That's like a PvP ship, right? Look at all these bonuses. It's got bonuses to warp, scrambler range, and all that kind of stuff. The thing is, this is the major thing, okay? It has got really good range, and range is really important in L4 missions. Also, it's got really good speed of its missiles, so its missiles go and hit their targets very quickly. And the third thing is also it's got very good damage. And the fourth, in my opinion, probably the most important thing, is that it is really fast. Speed in L4 missions is very underestimated. You know, you think of like, oh, I'm gonna do, or especially if you want to like blitz them. If you want to blitz them, then it's like do the missions fast, just complete them as fast as possible. Then speed is very important because you want to like go to the acceleration gates, go and grab the mission objectives very quickly, and there you need speed. So you can see here, if we go in the fitting tab, 1.3k a second. That's pretty damn fast for a battleship right there. So we almost are going as much as like some cruisers in MWD speeds, but it's pretty good. So you can see here I've got even I'm able to put a drone link augmenter. Just the fitting is pretty like lenient on this ship as well. And I'm going after it using an X large shield booster. The reason is because you don't really need to sustain tank for a long time, and if you do need to sustain tank, it's only for a short amount of time, because the main way this ship repels DPS is by kiting. Using this MWD over here, because you're so fast, it's very easy to pull range, and you've got crazy amounts of range. Look at this, 193 kilometer range on the Scourge Fury cruise missiles. Even more with Caldari Navy, it's way more than we can target. So basically anything we can target, we can hit. So you would think then, okay, why don't you use the Rattlesnake? You can use Rattlesnake and you can have a 1.3k DPS with cruise missiles, right? The thing is, okay, the Rattlesnake, it relies a lot on drones. Drones have limitations. They take a long time to get to their targets. These cruise missiles will just hit anything you can target almost straight away. And also, you think of sometimes like, oh, missiles, they take a long time to approach their target. It's better to use something like, you know, something with guns that instantly hits their target, because guns like rail guns, artillery cannons, blasters, they instantly hit your target the moment you press the shoot key. The thing is, with these cruise missiles, with the Barghest's bonus to missile velocity, it takes very little time for the missiles to hit their target. So that's why it is it's almost instant, not instant, but it's almost a lot better type of like cruise missiles compared to other ships, for example on the Rattlesnake. And it's really good because I can kite really easily, shoot anything. I don't have to at all think about tank at all, because I'm just really far away, nothing can hit me. So it's overall I'd say it's a really relaxing thing, and also a relaxing ship to use in L4 missions. And you can see here I'm using Hyperspatial velocity optimizers. This just makes it so my warp speed is really fast. I can go and just warp to mission objectives or missions very fast. So we're going to be doing the Downing the Slavers Part 2, and I'll demonstrate this in action right here. So we're in Langisi is a good missioning system for SOE, Sisters of Eve missions, because Sisters of Eve Corporation has very good LP to ISK ratios, very good. Very consistently, they're making items that have a big demand. You can see here, I've got actually a Vespa II here that I actually lost in a mission because I made a noob mistake before. Okay, let's go here, and you'll see here we're going to warp very, very fast because we've got the Hyperspatial velocity optimizers, so we can go really fast. That's something. So if you're using probably a Rattlesnake, I can imagine, or like these a bit like more tankier ships, then you would probably have rigs that help you tank. So probably like capacitor control circuits, maybe purges, maybe these like shield solidifiers that make your shield boosters more stronger. But since we're kiting, then we don't really need to focus so much on tank. We've obviously got some tank with this, like, you know, the shield booster right here, but that's not the main thing. The main tank is just coming from our range. So that is something that's really good, really good. You could just focus a lot on getting as fast as possible to finish the missions as fast as possible. Okay, so this is something actually you'll notice with missions. You have to double click on this thing here to get the warp notification. This is something that annoyed me a lot, because I remember when I was a newbie, I would sometimes think, oh, well, how do I go to the warp to the location? I noticed that if you just double click, this thing actually, it pops up. It was maybe a little bug there. We're gonna go so fast because we've got like normal battleships. You go, look, we've got 4.22 AU per second, and if we go in a normal battleship like without it in, we just take a fresh Barghest, 3 AU per second, so we're almost going double the amount of warp speed as normal. And also the hyperspatial velocity optimizers, I think they make so that you accelerate into warp, like you go from like, you know, when you start warping and you actually are starting to warp to get up to, because it takes a bit of time to get up to that 5.22 AU a second. This goes a bit faster when you've got the hyperspatial velocity optimizers, because I think your acceleration is better. So we're going to use Mjolnir Fury to take out the Sanchez, because these guys have got mainly EM and thermal holes, and I think it's a very good idea, like in missions in general, just keep if you've only 2 damage types to think about, to focus on kinetic and EM. You can pretty much cover everything with those 2 damage types. Kinetic, Geisters, Serpentis, Angel Cartel. Maybe Angel Cartel is a bit better to have explosive, but kinetic is also very good against them. And then EM, Blood Raiders, drones, the Sanchez we're fighting right here. So kinetic and EM seems to pretty much cover everything. That's why I've only got 2 of them. I don't like to carry like 50,000 damage types. I've actually got Inferno cruise missile here. I don't know what that was. I think that was a loot I picked up for once. But kinetic and EM, they pretty much cover everything in my opinion. So those are 2 very good damage types. So this mission, you just have to kill everything in the first wave, like this, everything here. Then when we go through the acceleration gate, then there's like 2 cruisers I think, and those cruisers we just kill them and we then finish the mission. So it's quite a straightforward mission. You can see here we're going pretty fast. We're going to go to this acceleration gate here. These guys are almost dead now. I could use my drones to get a bit of extra damage, but to be honest, it's just going to take extra time to recall my drones. That's the thing with drones, the Rattlesnake, it takes a long time for them to travel, and you can obviously use sentry drones. Thing is, sentry drones, they have a bit of tracking issues sometimes if stuff is flying. Like, they got really bad tracking compared to normal drones. Also, they have a limited amount of range. Like, they don't have as good range as the cruise missiles. And also, they, like, if you're going to then use heavy drones, it's also a good alternative, but then they take a long time to travel to their target. So it just feels a lot more simpler to have a ship that's based off only the like 1 weapon type, or only the missiles. I'm not saying the Rattlesnake is bad, it's still pretty good, but I just feel like it's a lot simpler, or it feels a lot more relaxing to do the missions in this kind of ship here. This Centum control is taking a bit of a long time to do, and actually I probably would switch to Caldari Navy, because I carry 2 types. I've got the Fury, the type of missile, and then I've also got the Caldari Navy, or the faction one. The faction one has better application to small stuff like that cruiser over there, but it does a little bit less damage. The Fury does not have as good application, but has a lot more damage. So that's why, you know, battleship, battle cruisers is very good to use the Fury. Even sometimes cruisers, like, it's a bit of a gray zone. Like, oh, should I use Fury? Should I not? Probably, I think it's optimal to use Caldari Navy or faction ones, but I just sometimes, if it just cruises like on the borders, like if I was against frigates, then definitely I would use the faction one, because it'll be a lot faster that way. Okay, we're taking a lot of damage here. Let's just keep going, and we'll actually go and align to Langisi right here. We have to take out these 2 guys, and then the mission is complete after that. So taking a lot of damage, I've noticed. Let's just stop going and just keep aligning to Langisi. Just straight away, when we kill these 2 guys, then we warp off. Okay. Look at the shield booster. We're not cap stable with this one, but we will be able to warp out straight away, or we don't have to have it on for so long. So that's why it doesn't really matter that we're cap stable or not cap stable. We just warp out straight away after we finished it. It's like a very big opposite to the Marauders. The Marauders, they focus on like endurance and just being in the fight as much as possible, while this one is not focused on being in the fight as much as possible. It's just more focused on getting there, killing the important stuff, and just warping out straight away. So we're pulsing our shield booster here because we've not got a lot of capacitor to spare, so I'll leave it here. And then after this guy is down, just 1 more volley, and then he's dead. Just do a little bit more pulses here. There we go. It's also something, there's like webs, they can be a bit of a problem sometimes. So you wanna be careful for, like, avoid webs if you can, because webs really, they just make it so that it's harder to kite stuff. But usually it's pretty easy to kill stuff. But the thing is here, all I had to do is just kill those 2 cruisers. So there was not really much more to it. I didn't want to waste my time destroying the webs. All I had to do is just align out and then just warp off when I'm done with it. So that's the Downing the Slavers Part 2 done. It's a pretty short mission right there. So you hardly have to do anything. Get 4,000 loyalty points, so that's probably worth like 5-6 million ISK. and we get like, you know, 2 million SKF from this stuff, and also a bit of bounties as well. So overall, I would say it's a pretty decent mission right there. You know, I got a little bit nervous there for a second where I warped into that room, that second room. I noticed I was suddenly taking a lot of shield damage, like I'm used to when I'm using the Barghest. Not really taking that much shield damage because I'm able to kite stuff. That's the thing. Just remember, webs, they can be an issue, but just take them out. You switch to the Caldari Navy, or the Precision if you're using Precision, but Caldari Navy will have very good application. And just take out the webs, or webbing frigates, or if it's cruisers, you could just stick with Scourge Fury, whatever you feel like. And just take out the webs, and then you can kite if it's another kind of mission. Otherwise, if it's just something very quickly that you have to just kill like a small target or 2 targets like I did there, then it's not much you have to do. Let's go and hand in the mission. Complete. Oh yeah. Why does it say minus? That's strange. Sometimes it just does like that. Loyalty points achieved. Alright, that's Downing the Slavers Part 2, and me explaining a bit how and why I use a Barghest in L4 missions. Hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys later.